if you look over my shoulder here, you can see all of the press. Everybody that's got all their tents all set up and the lights and everything. I'm going to turn it right around because in front of the building, we're right across the street. There is so much smoke that you can't see, but the building that collapsed is right there. And if you can barely see that crane poking up through the smoke there, that's the crane that's moving the pile. And every time they move stuff, more and more smoke comes up. And I hope you guys are able to see this picture, because right now there's zero cell phone speed signal down here right now for doing any kind of streaming, because there's so many people down here. What's up there, John? How does the signal look to you guys? Can you see it okay? Does it look at least reasonably clear, or is it like all blocked up? Let me know. So? Yeah. I did a speed test right before I went live and could barely get any signal. Let me just show you what it looks like here on the street, guys, because as far as you can see right here in this little spot for this one block, there's nothing but media, and their tents are here. Look at this. There's all these dudes here with all their lights and all of their production people and all of their directors and producers and the on-air talents and everything, and they're all getting ready to go live. And there's more and more down here, and it's like both sides of the street all the way down, man. So here, the smoke is starting to clear a little bit. You can see the top of the front of the building there. And then just on the left edge, that's where the collapse occurred. So the pile is right where see where that little... Dude, this is like Home Depot all over again. I can't get away from the beeps. No, Telemundo just asked me to move because they were getting ready to go live. So anyway, we had it for a second. I was trying to point to where the crane was, where the crane is there that is sticking up there through the smoke. But there's the building. This smoke is like very hard to breathe through right now. And I probably should have brought my mask. So I'm sure I'm going to wake up hacking tomorrow morning. So what I'm going to show you is I'm going to walk back over here, back this way a little ways, and I'm going to show you what they've got here on the street, some of the equipment. And that's all you hear is sirens the entire time, all day. Cop cars and everything honking their horns. And so we got this gigantic Miami-Dade fire rescue rig here. I don't even know what this thing does, but wait till you see what they got right over here around the corner. They've got this massive complex set up. It's like the Army, looks like the Army logistics almost, with the food and everything set up. But they've got all of these command posts that are here. And they've been bringing in fencing all afternoon. And the fencing is they're moving everybody further and further away, like blocks and blocks away. Right after I did my live stream about a half hour ago, guys, they moved us even further down the beach, 1,000 feet now, further down the beach. And they put these pedestrian walls on the beach there. All right, so let me just show you what they got here. This is where all the command posts are right here. So this is where the fire department has set up. There's like boatloads of these command posts, like, I don't know what you call them, they're RVs or whatever, that are all set up. And this is where they do the media briefings right here too. I don't see the 3 tents. I think they're on the other side maybe. So this is just some of the trucks that they've got here, guys. And let's see, so here's where this is in relation. There's the front of the building right there, see? So let me back off on the zoom a little bit. There's the front of the building. The left edge is where it collapsed, and it was an L shape going all the way back towards the beach. Pull this phone off the gimbal. Give me 1 second. All right. So we are off the gimbal now. Yeah, but there's the rest of the building. So that's what the building looks like under normal situations right there, see? So yeah, it's pretty sad because I don't expect that any of those 159 missing people there are going to make it. That's a good way to cook it.
Hey? No, I've learned this a long time ago.
He's warming up his lunch, putting it in the engine. I like that. So as you come down the street, and keep in mind, we're a block away from the building. both sides of the road, all the way down the road, are nothing but battalion chiefs, fire chiefs, emergency vehicles. And yeah, when this first happened the other night at like 2:30 in the morning, they showed it live from up in the sky, and all you could see for like 5 or 6 blocks surrounding the entire building was nothing but fire engines and stuff. I'm going to see if they've got the other command posts set up over here. Yeah, so they just got boatloads of them here. I mean, just the logistics of getting everybody here, getting all these trucks parked the way they are. And here's another setup right here. Those black tents, let me see if I can zoom in for you here. Those black tents right over there, those 3 black tents, that's where they do the media briefings at, right there. Okay. And if any of you guys saw any of that video of the actual collapse, right? It was shot from the back of this building. They have a pool out back, and it was from the back corner up against the beach entryway from a camera looking towards the building that captured it all. All right, so and just wherever you go, there's hundreds and hundreds of news people just walking around here. It's quite an incredible sight here. And by the way, my plans of going back up on the beach on the north side of the building here were squashed because they kept moving people further and further away, and they built another pedestrian wall on the north side about 2 blocks away, so you can't even on the beach side get anywhere close to the building. This side here, we're actually closer to the building than we were on the beach side, which is just, you know, mind-boggling. So look at this. So I'm going to be quiet because we got the news crew right here, but there's a group of firemen, I think, that are right there. See them in the middle? They're all praying. I think so. I think that's what they were doing. But anyway, so this is the part that the news guys really don't show you that much of, is what's really happening in the surrounding streets here. So you're seeing it, look at this. They brought in all sorts of mobile bathrooms and everything. Just any possible support structure you can imagine. Look, they're bringing in more and more stuff and just setting things up. This is going to be a permanent staging area for probably weeks, if not months, to come. And good luck trying to park anywhere down here within 10 blocks of this going forward. I feel sad for the people that kind of live in here. They're never going to be able to get back to their houses. Because I can tell you how it took me a long time to drive through all of those back streets in the middle of the afternoon, even at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You know, and there's just more and more and more cops coming in from everywhere. I mean, I can't even imagine the strain on the emergency personnel this must be to have something like this happen down here. Let's see if I got any comments or questions. Did they confiscate your Craftsman cooler? No, it was, you know, I got so exhausted dragging that thing along the sand that I decided if I'm going to walk this far again, I wanted to be a little bit lighter, so I just have my camera case with me there. And my Nikon's hanging on my left side. My gimbal just died. The battery's dead on it. Here's all of the media area here, the staging area. I'm going to head back up this way and see what we can find up here. But as far as the eye can see, I can already see way up at the end of towards Collins Avenue up there what they're doing. This is a one-way street that they have now divided with these orange and white plastic dividers that you're going to see coming up here. And they're only allowing traffic. The traffic is going in 2 directions, but it's only emergency vehicles at this point. There's no other cars allowed anywhere near here right now. 0. I mean, just look at this. Look at this, guys. Look how many people. There's hundreds and hundreds of people here just from the press. This is the other side of the street now. Remember that one side I showed you over there had probably an equal amount.
Edit for 6.
And this side here has even more. I should see if my friends are here from Channel 10. I know a couple of people here. Look at this man. Can you imagine just sitting out here and working all day in the sun like this? Then we got even more over here, and they're still coming, man. They're coming and they're lining up like crazy. Okay. So now, all right, now that the smoke is cleared a little bit, let's see if we can get a better shot. I think that's why they're all coming over this way, because they're moving everybody away right now. Now, okay. I'm going to zoom in over there, and you can see there's an aerial truck, the hook and ladder. Hold on. Forgive the zoom. So right below those 4 street lights you see in the middle of the picture there is where the fire department aerial ladder is. But for a moment there, it got pretty clear where you could see a lot of it. So take a look. When I zoom into the patios there, you can see how the building just ripped right away from all of those patios, and all of the wrought iron railings and the rebar and everything's just left hanging. All right, let me see if I can. Yeah, they're hosing it down. That's what they're doing. See, right in the middle of the picture, right there. Right smack dab in the middle of the screen is where they're hosing down the pile of rubble right now, trying to get the smoke down. And we don't know how it happened. There's a lot of theories. One of the theories we heard was back in the 90s, it was pointed out that the building was sinking at a rate of 2 millimeters per year, which if you extrapolate that to today would be about 50 millimeters, about the size of a lens on a camera. And I'm going to zoom back out to give you a better idea of the scene here. And so if it dropped 50 millimeters even over that length of time, would that have caused a collapse? We don't know. It's not likely, but sometimes, you know, you have one thing and then you have somebody else says, well, there was this that happened and then there was that happened. Maybe it was a combination of things, just like the Titanic, you know. Jeffostroff can fix the building. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, this building is not fixable. Oh, and by the way, I do want to point out something to you. Hang on one second here, because I've only got one hand right now. I'm going to zoom into the cement on the left side of the building, and I want to show you something. I forget if they call that spalding or what. When the concrete, if you look right in the middle of the screen, sorry, I'm trying to, hold on. If you look right in the middle of the screen, you'll see 3 horizontal stripes on the building where a whole bunch of concrete has pulled itself off. And I don't know if they call that spalding or not. I don't know if that's stress to where the building ripped itself away from that part of the building or not. But I noticed that's kind of interesting. Now, for those of you who didn't see our live stream earlier, about an hour ago, I pointed out that in Florida, folks, we have what's called a 40-year inspection rule on every building. And this building was built in 1981. So of all of these old, ugly buildings down here on near the beach, you know, it's probably the youngest one, and next to that one. I'm pretty sure that one's newer. But 40-year-old building is not a building that's going to collapse. It's just not, under normal circumstances. Not going to happen. Okay, and so they supposedly had just gone through their 40-year certification where it gets inspected by engineers, and they determine if the building is sound-worthy, if it will stand and not fall over or anything like that. Right? And so as far as they know, there wasn't anything found that was wrong, you know. Let me zoom in closer to that. There's the aerial tower right there in the middle of the screen. And I tell you, man, about every 10 seconds, some kind of emergency vehicle drives by here. It's just amazing how many police and fire inspectors and God knows whatever else is down here too. But so let me see. I think they have. There's 2 cranes next to that hook and ladder. So there's the hook and ladder on the right side of the screen. There's 2 cranes there. There's a black one and there's that big white one. and both of them were busy moving big chunks of the debris pile. And once they move the pile, like more smoke starts coming out, and then the fire department comes in. Here again, here you can see now again, they're spraying more water onto it again because they've released more smoke. So you can see they're trying to get the aerial tower up and above, and they're hosing down the pile right there. And this is really as close as we can get, man. Mike Land says crazy stuff. It sure is. This is just so wild. Oh, you're gonna do a shot? Okay. Yeah, so we're always gotta make sure we're not in each other's way here. There's a lot of guys going live right now. Now look at this. You're gonna see these trucks are bringing in these cones here, and here comes another one right behind it. These trucks here, they're bringing in more and more of these barricades. They're going to start barricading off the area, and you mark my words, folks, by tomorrow, I'm willing to bet I wouldn't even be able to come and get as close as I am right now. I am right at ground zero, folks. Here's the big truck coming there. So they pretty much booted us off that section of the beach where I was at. And just more and more construction and emergency vehicles coming here. Florida Department of Transportation, a bunch of unmarked cops, plane wrappers. This is all we're seeing the entire time down here. And you got more and more of the news crews from all over the place coming in. So actually the spot that I just set up, guys, all of a sudden they're starting to come all around me and everything. Now, I got a clearer shot of the fire engine over there now, because it looks like it's cleared up a bit. Let me see. He's right there. He's shooting a hose right at the building. I don't know if you can see it and how well the resolution is on the screen there on the video. And see, somebody said, "Thanks, Jeff. Knock it off, Parson." Yeah, the First Lady of Paraguay had some family member in this building too. That's what they announced on the news yesterday. Look at this. They got more of these cone trucks. They're coming by. They're going this way. They're going that way. The other way. I don't see any of my famous local news buddies here. Wonder where they're all at. And then over there, they got satellite trucks parked.
No, we're just going for a bike ride.
All right.
Is there something developing? No, it's just news time.
So here they are spraying it right into the building. You know, it makes me wonder if the other part of the building fell and we don't really know the cause, how safe is the rest of this building? And you know what? Yesterday when they were showing the view from the helicopter looking down the front here, there was a whole bunch of firemen that was sitting under the overhang of the front of the building. And I'm just thinking, dudes, come on, man. You guys are crazy. No, go. You'll be fine. I was just thinking, dudes, you know, sitting under the overhang like that. And what if the building comes down? You won't even have time to move, you know? But yeah, this is a crazy scene. It is extremely hot and extremely humid out here right now too. I thought I was gonna have a heart attack dragging all that stuff out on the beach. That's why I went and put the Craftsman back in the car. But here on the tar, you know, on the hardtop, it would have done just fine. But you know, I needed to lighten my load to be a little bit more mobile. All right, it's cleared up significantly over there. Let me get another zoom in shot there. So there they are. They're hosing it into the building there. The Millennium Tower of San Francisco has been sinking, but they caught it early. Yeah. Do you guys all remember, I don't know if anybody brought it up in the comments yet, but was it about 10 years ago in Vegas? They had that famous, hold on, I'm still messing with this Zoom thing. They had that famous blue glass building. It's called the Harmon. And it was built like 30, 40 floors tall before they found out there was something wrong with the concrete. Oops. And they said that the whole thing was going to have to come down. Here's my honey from Channel 7 right here. She's getting ready to go live. Good things. So they have people going around handing out water, volunteers. They're handing out food. I like that. Everybody's down here just helping everybody. Yeah, now it's I think a lot clearer over there now. Now we can see the fire truck a lot better there. She likes me, you think? I'll give her my number. All right, so there you go. Oh, look at this, man.
Thank you so much.
Look at this. Oh man, that's making me hungry, man.
Yes.
Thank you.
I think a power bar. Thank you.
If they had any lobster, I'd probably take it, but all right, so there we are. There's what's going on there still. So, you know, in my opinion, guys, with, you know, of course, with the height and the weight of everything falling down, I don't think there would be any other survivors. And now with all the fire and all that smoke, because, you know, keep in mind, I'm a block and a half away right now, and it's pretty hard to breathe right over here right now. They talked to one guy who built a lot of the buildings, yep. And he said something about the rebar, yeah, being exposed without enough. Didn't I tell you guys that? I told you that on the last live stream that I did a half hour ago. Remember that? I said that. That caught my eye the first thing, because sticking out of the pile of rubble is all of these rebar columns, and the concrete was wiped clean off of it. And I said it was just like taking meat off the fish, the fish bones, you know, and you're left with the fish bones. So right off the bat, that kind of made me wonder, because when, you know, rebar has texture to it, and the concrete's supposed to grab around it, you know, and so I don't understand how I saw not just one, guys, but I'm talking numerous columns that had all the concrete wiped right off of the rebar. So it doesn't make sense. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to have that much rebar poking out without the concrete wrapped around it, for sure. It was just peeled clean off of it. And then you saw on the other side of the building what I mentioned too, how it was just sheared completely off. So it looked like the other part of the building didn't have anything to do with this part of the building at all. Where you would think that they would have been, you know, fully intermeshed with each other, connected, rebarred, poured concrete together, the whole 9 yards, you know. Love and marriage. Oh, I think we can see the top of the rubble. I'm going to zoom right into the top of the pile, right over there. You'll see it. Hang on. You can see it right there in the middle of the screen. There's the top of the rubble. So just, hold on. Let me see. Right where those 4 black squares are, right below it, and just to the left of it. Let me try to get it right in there and steady, because I'm zoomed way in, folks. But that's the rubble pile right behind it. It's like right on the back side of where the aerial tower is. Every once in a while, every few seconds, you'll see the smoke clear enough that you can see the top of it. It kind of reminds me a lot of, you know, World Trade Center, man, when it went down. So this is amazing. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen that video of the actual collapse, you got to go watch it and pay special attention to the way it collapsed, because it looked like it imploded from the center of the building first, which would have been like just to the left of there. So the building went, I'll show you, the building went that way. It continued on down towards the left. What you're seeing here is not the edge of a building. You're seeing the beginning of what was the L shape of that building, right? So that whole section fell over. But after that fell over, there was another back section that faced the beach, just like this section's facing us. And that section pancaked and fell on top of the pile as it pancaked. So that was the view of it, and it was shot from the bottom of that other oval-shaped building next door, from their pool. So, yeah, there you have it, man. At least the rain stopped and everything. We were hearing thunder. In fact, there's all of Thunderheads, but they've sort of moved a little north. They're offshore, and we could actually see the curtains of rain coming. And now that it's approaching 6, all of the press that were like all over on wherever they were, they're scattered for blocks around, all reporting live. They're all now coming back here, and it's getting more and more crowded here now. So, yeah. And you saw these churches that were coming around handing out food. People were bringing bottles of water and stuff. Just handing out water to people. But this is the wild scene that you didn't see from all the news reports from yesterday. And it's just amazing how many different vans and how many different command posts we're seeing here. Okay, here's the girl from Telemundo right here. There's more people getting interviewed here. And by the way, this area of Miami right here is predominantly Jewish, and from what I understand, there was quite a few Jewish families living in there. So there was some of the Jewish temples were down here and bringing food and stuff for everybody. No, thanks. See, they're walking around with food. Now, if they had like steak and lobster, maybe I'll partake. Oh, there's a better view right here, guys. I'm going to shoot. Hopefully I'm not blocking anybody's view. Let me take a quick shot right up the street. There's the aerial ladder up in the air, and they're hosing it down.
Get on the sidewalk, get out of the road.
Okay. They keep coming and pushing everybody back. All right, so right now it kind of disappeared in the smoke. And man, I hope those guys are wearing like their breathing apparatus. Yeah, so you can't even see it now. Here comes more and more North Bay Village. So it's one after another, guys. That's all you see. Every 30 seconds, another one comes by. All right, so let me see. I'm waiting for it to clear up again. So everybody here is broadcasting. Even this dude in the middle of the road here. You see him right there? He's got his little monopod set up there. I like that. That's a cute little setup he's got there. That's Jose Telemundo. All right, so here we go. It's clearing up again. Let me zoom in. So there they are, sticking out of the smoke. What a shot, man. Now I can see the white crane in the background. I don't know if you can see it through the smoke. It's just kind of moving into the trees right there. But it's moving and it's going back to get more stuff. And man, God bless those two firemen up there running that hose, because it can't be easy when you're fighting all that smoke. And I don't care what they say, I'm sure you can still breathe in some of it while you're up there in the mask when it's completely surrounding you. And now at this point they probably can't even see what they're doing. So this is definitely going to be one for the engineering books. You're going to have a lot of condos around here, guys. Getting nervous, and I'll tell you what. See, this was the I think it's called the Champlain South Tower. That's the North Tower. You're going to tell me these people in here right now aren't freaking out, going, "Uh-oh, am I going to be safe tonight? Do I have to worry about my building collapsing?" And the one over to the north of that one, that's built the very similar way, you know. Let me see if I can zoom up there and capture both of them for you. A little bit back. Yeah. See those two buildings? I would be freaking out, man. And not only that, you know, hold on, let me get the zoom back. I don't know how big the seismic event was when this building came crashing down. But if you can imagine, man, what did it do to the foundations of the buildings next to it? Or their garages? A lot of these condos have parking garages that are elevated second and third floors. You know, did it do any damage to them? Are they at risk of coming down now? That's some of the things that's got me thinking. See, right now everybody's just concentrated on this building, but now I'm worried about all of our surrounding friends over here as we have more news crews arriving. It's just amazing, guys, how many hundreds of news people are here. Let me just give you one quick like roundabout here of what's happening. Here's like there's probably 150 of them on that side, 150 of them like right over there, and then more of the local tents and stuff over here. Lester Holtz was here last night doing the NBC nightly news live. He was here right here last night. Here's our little Spanish cutie. I think she's from the she's from either Univision or Telemundo. But Lester Holt, I'm pretty sure, was in one of these two tents here last night. All right, and we got more and more emergency vehicles still arriving. Yeah, I would hate to be somebody that lives right here and you got to get home or leave to go to work. Here's some of the, what do they call it? The urban rescue guys right here with the helmets on. So those are the guys that go in like with the dogs and stuff and try to help rescue people that are stuck in the collapsed buildings. And please forgive the zooming. It's very hard out here to get this thing controlled. Okay, so they're, and just in like the last 10 seconds, there's an increase in the smoke. Because right now I can barely see the fire department's ladder truck right there in the middle of the screen going up at an angle towards the right corner. You can barely see it silhouetting right there. So every time they hose it down, it helps dissipate the smoke. It's amazing that, even a day later, it's still burning, man. They still can't get all that water down in all of those nooks and crannies where, 12 stories worth of everybody's belongings came collapsing down. And then what's interesting, too, is you see this blue hotel right here? So they were basically not even 100 feet across the street from where that's where the main collapse happened. And a few people caught video of it from those balconies over there, shooting right across. I don't think they caught it when it happened, but some people caught the aftermath. So if you want to try to look for those videos online. So there we go. It's clearing up a little better there. Let me zoom in there. So there they are hosing it again. And just to give you for those of you that know Miami Beach, we're right at the intersection of Collins Avenue and 88th Street, Northwest 88th Street. And in fact, the address of the condo is 8800 Collins Ave, Miami Beach. And if you Google that on Google Maps and pull it up on maps and click on the directions and look at the final lines when it gets right down to it, it'll show that half the area is blocked off. You'll see all of these, what is it, like yield signs or whatever that show that it's all blocked off. We got more and more cops still coming through. I didn't even know they had that many cops in this state, but they're all here if they do.
Get back on the sidewalk.
On your sidewalk.
Everybody on the sidewalk.
All right, so they're pushing us back here. I'm going to walk back over this way a little bit.
Like I said, there's a way to get through.
Look, they're even setting up in people's yards here. I know this guy, but I don't know what channel I forget what channel he's from. So some pretty impressive equipment is out here right now, folks. Let me see what we got here. And by the way, just as an update, folks, on our 5G phone that we ordered, the special S21 Ultra with the 256 gig that I had special ordered from Verizon store. It came in last night. I go in and I pick it up. I bring it home. I turn it on. It doesn't latch on to 5G. I call up the store to chew them out, and they go, "Oh, we don't have 5G in Broward." And I'm like, "Well, what the hell are you guys advertising all over TV? And you didn't even warn me when I bought the stupid phone." So, I don't even know what we're going to do now. There's nothing. There's no 5G in my area for the foreseeable future. The whole thing's a lie. It's all a scam. And then on top of that, The phone that I paid $1,200 for, within 20 minutes of me bringing it home, it died and it never turned back on again. I brought it back into the store this morning and they couldn't fix it. So they have to refund me and order a new one. How do you like that? My quest to get any kind of 5G signal is just not going to happen anytime soon in Broward County. And by the way, guys, that's why we're going to do a video on this later on. But I just wanted to let you know, Verizon is lying to you about 5G. If you go to their website and they show you that 5G map around your area and around your county, and it shows which neighborhoods have it, and they have practically the whole county shaded red, it's a lie. It's a total lie. Because I found another third-party site that collects data from people's phones, and in all of Broward County, there's really only 5G in just a couple of little spots. So they're lying about that nonsense. So here's again, for those of you that tuned in late, here's part of their big staging area. Across the street, just by God's grace, there happens to be a park right here. And so they've all been setting up shop here at the park. And look at this giant fan they've got set up here. Let me see if I can get a better view of it. So we have this, all sorts of, that looks like a canteen. I don't know if that's a canteen or not, but look at the size of this fan. I don't know what they're doing with it. Maybe it's just something to come stand in front of. I'm willing to bet it's not as powerful as my Ryobi misting fan that I did my tool review video on. Yeah. So man, that thing looks incredible. It stands about maybe 8, hold on, let me see if I can zoom. It stands about maybe 8 feet tall, I would think, because it's taller than any of the guys that are walking around it. Yeah. Looks like a generator, yeah. Looks like you don't want to get too close to it on the back side of it when it's running, Don't stick your fingers in there. Those are good rules that Mom always taught us. So look at this, they've brought in boatloads of meals and stuff. So this is the tent where they come and chow down. You can see all of the meals sitting there. And I just feel bad for all of the family members of all of these missing people, because they have them staged about 10 blocks north at a civic center. And there's really nothing for them to do. There's no info they can give them at this time, And I just feel so bad for them that there's nothing they can do. They're just waiting to hear and not. It's like 9/11 all over again. They got pictures. They're showing the pictures all over the news and everything of all their family members that are missing and unaccounted for. So this is the second staging area, because it's like 1 block south of the building. The building is here, and we're 1 block away over here at another staging area. And that's where they got all the portalets and everything, and more of these big command posts here. Yeah. And just tedious, all the tedious work doing that, lifting all that rubble off the piles and everything. It's hard to believe it's actually a nice looking kind of a building over there, And there's the scene looking back down the street. And it looks like, this is what I don't understand. They've allowed the helicopters to come back. Okay, I don't know if you can see that one up there. I can hear it. But yesterday, they were keeping them away 2 miles because they were trying to use their microphones to see if there was anybody alive down on the rubble. Okay. So this is pretty much it, folks. That's all I can show you here from this scene at this time. So I just wanted to thank each and every one of you for joining us. And if you have any questions, folks, ask them down in the comments later. And when I get home in a few hours, I should be able to answer them. And just remember, man, I would make sure that you probably don't want to come within 10 blocks north or south of this. And just the traffic coming down here was even pretty bad. So it took me 1 hour and 3/4. No, 2 hours. 2 hours and 10 minutes. I left at 1:20 and got here at 3:30. So it took me 2 hours and 10 minutes. And it normally would have been a 40-minute ride at any other time there, Yeah, the Miami car alarm. There you go. Yeah. So anyway, I'm glad to help you guys and just kind of show you, bring you right up front to what happened there, and show you everything that was going on, and try to determine a cause of what was happening here. Because those of us that do all of this kind of remodeling and rebuilding, this is interesting to us as well. And here's something else. Here's another thing I wanted to put out for you guys too. And I don't know if they did it in this case, but a lot of buildings, when they pour the slabs on the floors, each of the floors, sometimes they put like these, it's not like rebar, it sort of looks like rebar, but they're cables and buried into the concrete. And I forget what they call it. I don't know if it's just tensioning the concrete or pre-tensioning or what they call it. But if you were to cut through one of those doing some kind of renovation or something, you could theoretically cause a lot of damage, and you could cause the concrete to not be able to support anymore. And all it takes is one floor to pancake, and the rest will follow. You know? Anything built by humans can and will fail. Yeah, you guys remember the FIU bridge? I was just getting ready to do a video in the next week or two on that FIU bridge collapse that we had here, was it 2 or 3 years ago? Because we have all the reports in on that one, and I was going to do a whole video on that, because that's an interesting failure mode that also had undertones of the Titanic, where there was a lot of arrogance in there. You remember on the movie Titanic where Ishmael said, "Oh, this ship can't sink. She can't sink. We don't need extra lifeboats." Well, there was a lot of arrogance going on in the meetings that led up to that pedestrian bridge collapsing and 6 people dying underneath it. So there you have it. All right, folks, I'm going to check out now. And so you guys have yourselves a great weekend. And don't forget to ask any questions you want down in the comments, and I'll answer them later on. And we'll see you guys all on the next one. And this is Jeff reporting from 8800 Collins Avenue in Miami, at the condo where the collapse occurred. And there it is right there. We'll leave it on that, and we'll see you folks later. Have a great one.